Have you ever had that moment? Your kid looks up at you and asks, "Are we rich?" And you just freeze. Yeah, you're definitely not alone. Today, we're diving into Ron Lieber's amazing book, The Opposite of Spoiled. He argues that we need to stop treating money like a taboo subject and start using it as one of the best tools we have for teaching our kids about the values that really, truly matter.
It's a funny thing, isn't it? We'll talk about almost anything under the sun, but the moment our kids hit us with those big money questions, so many of us just clam up. We're worried we'll say the wrong thing, or that we'll reveal our own insecurities, or, somehow create a spoiled, entitled little person. But here's the big question Lieber poses. What if the silence is the real problem?
And this is what he calls the epidemic of silence. It's happening in so many families, probably more than we think. And his point is, it's this silence, not the conversation itself, that's leaving our kids unprepared for the real world. It leaves them disconnected from the very values we're trying so hard to teach them.
And look, the reasons we stay quiet are so relatable. I mean, where do you even start? Maybe our own parents never talked about money, so we just don't have a script for it. Or maybe we feel a little weird about our own spending habits or how much we make. Whatever the reason, Lieber shows how this silence just creates a cycle, leaving the next generation totally in the dark.
So, how do we break that cycle? Well, the book offers this absolutely brilliant reframing. Instead of seeing money talk as this huge source of anxiety, what if we started seeing it as a golden opportunity, a chance to talk about what's really important to our family? And this right here is the core game-changing idea of the whole book. Every single conversation about money is really a conversation about values. Think about it. When you decide how to handle allowance, you're talking about fairness and work. When you choose a charity to donate to, you're modeling generosity. All of a sudden, money isn't just about dollars and cents. It's a hands-on tool for building character. Just look at the virtues this whole approach can teach. We're not just teaching them how to manage a budget. We're teaching patience by saving up for something they really want. We're teaching generosity through giving. We're teaching perseverance by working toward a goal. These aren't just financial skills, you guys. They are the literal building blocks of a grounded, decent human being.
Okay, so let's get practical, because this is where the theory becomes real action. Lieber gives us a super simple but incredibly powerful blueprint to get started with allowance, and it all begins with 3 little jars.
It's just beautifully simple. You've got one jar for spend, for immediate wants, like a comic book or some candy. Then you've got the save jar for a bigger, longer-term goal, which teaches them patience. And then there's the give jar, which builds that muscle of generosity right from a young age. It's basically their first budget, and it makes these big, abstract ideas totally tangible for them.
So, how much do I give them? That's the big question, right? Lieber suggests a pretty simple rule of thumb, about 50 cents to $1 per year of their age each week. So a 6-year-old might get somewhere between $3 and $6. The key here isn't to give them enough to buy everything they want. It's to give them just enough so that they have to make choices. That's where the real learning kicks in.
Now, this next point is a really crucial distinction that Lieber makes. He says, don't tie allowance to everyday chores. His argument is that chores are just part of being in a family. Everyone contributes because we're all part of a team. Allowance is different. It's a teaching tool. It's a safe space for kids to practice making financial decisions and, even make mistakes while the stakes are still incredibly low.
If you are finding this video helpful, please make sure to hit that like button and share it with someone who this might help and be a benefit to their financial decision-makings. Your support means a lot to me and helps the channel grow, allowing the YouTube algorithm to show this content to a bigger crowd. More people can benefit from these ideas and hopefully improve their financial well-being.
But it doesn't just stop with the allowance jars. Once that foundation is in place, Lieber expands into two other absolutely critical areas for building character: fostering a real work ethic and cultivating genuine gratitude. And this brings us to the idea of work. You know, encouraging older kids to get a part-time job isn't just about the money they'll earn. It's about developing what researchers call grit, that powerful mix of passion and perseverance. It turns out grit is a better predictor of success than IQ, and having a real job with a real boss and real responsibilities is one of the best classrooms for it. And we really shouldn't underestimate our kids. The psychologist William Damon points out that kids actually crave real responsibility. They want to feel competent and useful. So when we give them meaningful work to do, we're not burdening them, we're actually helping them fulfill this deep natural drive to contribute. The other key piece to the puzzle is gratitude, and building into your family life can be surprisingly simple. Libra shares this great example of a family that just says a single word, gracias, before every meal. It's a tiny, consistent ritual, but it works as this powerful little reminder. Making gratitude a regular family practice is one of the best ways to teach kids about perspective. Okay, wow, we covered a lot of ground there. So let's just boil it all down to a few key takeaways, the stuff you can start using like this week to totally transform the money conversation in your own home.
All right, here's your board summary. First, just start the conversation. Remember, every question about money is really a question about values. Second, get those 3 jars: spend, save, give. It's the simplest first step you can take. Third, separate chores from allowance. Chores are about being part of the family team. Allowance is for learning. Fourth, encourage real work to build that all-important grit. And finally, number 5, make gratitude a regular family ritual.
So as we wrap up, the real question isn't if you should talk about money, but how you're going to begin. Maybe it's just setting up those 3 jars this weekend. Or maybe it's just being ready with an honest answer the next time you get one of those tough questions. The goal is just to open the door. So I'll leave you with this. What money conversation will you start this week?
Make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on future videos. Thanks for watching. I'm Finance Puppy, and here's to a better financial tomorrow. Cheers!